Hello and welcome to CatScan, where for the first time in a month I don't have to talk about an Arizona loss. Thanks, bye week. The Wildcats used the weekend to rest and recover, and they needed it. And we got to spend our time watching Stanford get hosed by the refs. By the way, where were those guys 2 weeks ago in Palo Alto? Maybe the Wildcats could have stopped the Cardinal once or twice. Anyway, moving on. The Wildcats head into the second half of their schedule, losers of 3 straight, but with a chance to right the ship. Of the 6 remaining games on the schedule, 5 are against Pac-12 South foes. There's still time to make some noise, but the Wildcats must stop giving games away. Arizona coach Rich Rodriguez knows this, and he says his team does too.
I don't know if a clean slate as much as a second half. We just talking about it's the second half. The first half is over, and there was some good, some bad, and a lot to learn from. And so now we're in the second half, and every game's a conference game. Every game is really, really important, and I think our guys understand that.
Clean slate, second half. Whatever you want to call it, the fact is there appear to be 5 winnable games left on the schedule. Take 3 and the Cats go bowling, and that is something we'd all be fine with. And if you're not, then you have way high expectations, so get over it. Now, I've said all along that this is a rebuilding year, and any success Rich Rodriguez's team has would be gravy. And I stand by that. However, part of the process means making people believe the program is heading in the right direction. Now, people like me may be sold on what's happening in the old Pueblo, but the best way to convince others that you'll have success is simply by having success. And that needs to begin this Saturday when the Wildcats host the Washington Huskies at Arizona Stadium in Tucson. Like the Wildcats, the Huskies also come into this game on a losing streak. And like the Wildcats, it comes courtesy of a couple of top 25 teams. Now, are the Huskies better than their 3-3 record? Are the Wildcats better than theirs? This is a good game to find out. Washington is led by junior quarterback Keith Price, who is struggling after an outstanding 2011. He's thrown just one more touchdown than interception, and he's averaging a pedestrian 5.81 yards per passing attempt. He doesn't have a lack of weapons, though. Kason Williams leads the team with 33 catches and 4 receiving touchdowns. And just in case the Wildcats didn't get enough of big tight ends against Stanford, Washington's Austin Seferian-Jenkins, who's listed at 6'6" and 266 pounds, is second on the team with 29 catches. It's a big boy. Now, on the ground, gone is Chris Polk, who terrorized the conference the last few years. And in his place is Bishop Sankey, who has run for 487 yards and 6 touchdowns. He's been solid, but not dominant. Now, really, where Washington's strength is, it's on the defensive side of the ball. They're giving up nearly 26 points per game, but take out the 41 they allowed against LSU and the 52 they surrendered to Oregon, and that number falls to 15.5. They've only forced 11 turnovers on the year, though, so they get the job done by playing solid D, not by taking the ball away from you. But as Stanford learned a couple weeks ago, it is incredibly difficult to hold Matt Scott and the Wildcats down. This game will come down to whether or not Arizona's defense, or at least what Arizona is calling a defense, can come up with a few stops. The Wildcats will score points, that's a given, but can they hold Washington, who comes in averaging just 21.3 points per game, to something near that number? If they do, the home team will come out with a victory. And I think they'll do just that. My prediction, Arizona 45, Washington 27. Well, that's going to do it for this edition of CatScan. For more on the Arizona Wildcats, including their 11th ranked basketball team, you can check out the podcast I host with Jarrett Carlin called Bearing Down. And for more of my thoughts on a variety of topics, you can follow me on Twitter @TheAdamGreen. Thanks for watching, and we'll do this again next week right here on ArizonaSports.com.